my child has ADHD, does that mean they'll, for sure struggle with executive function? So there's definitely overlap, but the answer is no. This is not always the case that if one exists, the other is a foregone conclusion. However, the overlap is significant. It's because the skills we need for executive function are the same skills we see as common weaknesses for those with ADHD. So what does it look like for someone to have ADHD but also have strong or not struggle with executive function? So maybe you relate to this. For example, you or your child may be really strong at managing themselves and their day, getting things done, prioritizing, planning, like really on top of it. However, if you then are asked or ask them to engage in a subject they're not interested in, well, that's all of a sudden really difficult to sustain attention. So that would be an example. Some we work with don't have ADHD, but struggle with executive function. So what that would look like is yourself, loved one, or child can really focus, like go very deep into subjects, stay on task, produce a lot of work. However, where they struggle is the ability to switch tasks or be flexible in that. The struggle to interrupt their train of thought. They're working on something, they want to go from A to B to C to D. They can't talk about F until they've completed C. So things need to be done in a very linear way, and it can be really hard to have the cognitive flexibility to switch or transition. So being fluid and flexible, switching tasks, that's a critical component of executive function. It's kind of like managing this traffic. How do you handle interruptions? Your brain's ability to do that. But those who struggle with executive function can get overwhelmed and struggle with that. So those are ways that ADHD and executive function and show up differently for individuals.